I think it's about time for a studio tour. I've had about 7 studios, and it all kind of started with this drafting table that my husband got from the dump that the government dumped. And I was like 19 years old that we brought that home. So this started my creativity. I started making crafts on it and stuff. And then I moved into a camp trailer, and that was really nice, especially if you don't have space in your home for a studio. If you can find a free or really inexpensive little camp trailer, you can fix it up and make that into a studio, and you can put all your supplies in there. That really is helpful. So that's one great way to be organized. So here we go. My last studio was not a window, it was very dark, and I worked at night, and this studio has lots of windows. So I'm really happy about it. I just make sure I do my painting in the morning so I get the best light. But I did get a new light on above my table here, which is, I think, a little too bright. I'm actually might just go ahead and get a less bright light. So that's what's going on. Usually I have these 2 lights here. I have light here and that one over there on the table so I can work with. And so one of the things about my space is I've always kept all of my supplies on my table for years and years. And I recently came up with the idea of getting a wheeled cart and putting my supplies on here. So pretty much what goes on my table is what I'm working on. Today I have to go paint something, so I've got this right here for me to remember. I've also been working on an oil painting, and then I had an acrylic painting I'm working on, so I keep it in these little boxes here, and all my different paints, so I don't put them away and I know which paints I'm using. Easy, accessible, and I could put that away onto the cart if I need to. So nice space, all open up. And then I have a footstool that I put down on the ground. It's over there. But it keeps my feet up too, because I tend to cross my legs a lot and it's not good. So to put my feet up on a stool really helps my back out. And once again, I've had this chair forever. I just added a pillow to it now. So I have my cart here, and I also have a dry erase board, which talks about some of the projects I want to do, goals, some doodles, some recent paperwork, some ideas going on. And that really has helped me out big time. Also, because you can put magnets on it too, so I like that. And then I come down to the cart. Let's switch it over. The cart has been a game changer. I just sanded it and painted it and then put some cardboard down to line on the inside. Now what I did is I just went through my supplies. I found this container and I thought, well, this will work for me now in my life. Things change over time. I might want to change things out, but this pretty much has one of everything in it. I have my Japanese miter saw here. I've got ruler. I've got tape, toothpicks, sewing needles, nail files. I've got my pliers galore, some little clips that are so I can just clip easily. Also, I have some clips right here on my table too. Little clamps, I should say. Just random things. I got pens and pencils, but I keep a majority of my pens and pencils in another area, and I'll show you that in a little bit. This year I did get some miniature vacuums and this little blower, and they've actually been really helpful. So I just keep them here. This is another miniature project I'm working on, so I'll leave it there with my AirPods and my tiny pencil and this super tiny flashlight. Isn't that cool? All right, and then I got my sandpaper and blue tape. This is another really important thing I always need to have around. Paper for notes. And then this little container just has another bunch of random stuff. So this is my top tool. I use this more than any other tool. This is my finger knife from Fiskars. And I love this. I've had it for years. I also keep one of my little Duracell exchangeable screwdrivers, and that's really useful. I've used that many times in the house. Let's put it back right there, measuring. Now, besides this, I really don't use this. I use these quilting rulers. These are really great, and this one particularly is the best. It doesn't come off with rubbing alcohol, so I use these for lots of my projects, and when they break and get old, I just cut them up into little shapes and then use these. You could put all kinds of stuff, use them as rulers, as mini rulers, or weigh stuff down, or So very useful. Then I've got my paints that I use a lot more often, like gessos, my black paint. I've got my walnut oil for my oil paintings. Some isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol for cleaning. This is a must-have. I use this a lot. And then, of course, the glue. Now, another little hint about my glue is I always like to keep these more than half full. I'll just squeeze more glue into it. That way, I don't have to wait so long waiting for the glue to come out. I can just squeeze it, and that's really important when you're working on a lot of the miniatures. Then I have like my utilitarian paint brushes, and these are just for mainly working with these paints here. And then a Barbie leg, some cotton balls, Q-tips for quick cleaning. And then we go over, I have this candle, and I'll use this for melting plastic and items. And then of course that's for the dry erase board. And I'll come back over here, and I've got paper towels on the bungee cord, and this is really helpful. And a spray water bottle. You need that for cleanup, all kinds of different reasons. I usually keep my oil painting box right here, but that's on the table. This is where my sketchbooks and notepads are, and then my magnifying goggles and my magnifying glass that lights up. And then we got Carl. Hey, how you doing? So the cart has been really helpful. It was also nice to have this cart here, and that's what had the dollhouse on it. And I can do a lot of projects, but I am going to clean this up and put it away for the year, because this is more of the oil painting section. It's much brighter over here, so I can see the painting as I work. Another thing that's been super helpful is I actually invented these painting drying racks, and you can put lots of paintings. You can put like 3-foot paintings off of this thing here, and you can just stack them up. And because it's close to the ceiling, it's warmer up here, and your paintings can dry faster. You can also throw a sheet over this if you're worried about dust getting on your stuff, but I've not really ever had any problems. And so this is where I put my working paintings that I'm working on. Right now I just have some extra canvases up here stacked up so that they're not in the way on the floor right there. And another project I have is I've been working on this too, and I've actually cleaned this up. I have tried everything under the sun to take this rust off. CLR, all the lemon juice, baking soda, vinegar. There's like so many different things. And the only thing that actually can get this rust off is if you just scrape it with a screwdriver. So what I'm going to do is make little fabric covers and put them in here, and then put all of my tiny art pieces in here, but in a different space. So I just finished that up, and that will leave this space soon. Now I'm in the garage. I've never had my supplies separated from my studio before, so actually this has been really nice and freeing. I have over 120 boxes set up on this wall that are identical and clear, and this has really worked for me. Especially as I begin as a recycled artist, I would get lots of different types of things, like maybe doll arms. So I'd have a box of just doll arms. And over the years, as I use up those items, the boxes would get new items and new names. So a lot of strange things in here, but things that, you know, you might need over time. This is pretty much all the miniatures and dioramas section right in here. And I'll just come down to a lot of little tools I'll need, like some clips, or this cut one is full of all my scissors. And then I've just got model car scraps, and that's just full of hair. I didn't even write anything. And we've got letters. And if I have more than stuff for one box, I'll just get another box of it. And these boxes were $1 each at the time. I've got my metal scraps and hangers and wires and mirror. And then we'll come over to this side, and then I've just got like pens and pencils and sequins, and I've got some fun stuff and crayons and cowboy stuff, you know, I just all kinds of random things. I actually have many boxes of just beads alone. I need to just get rid of them by making another art piece of beads, but then I end up having to buy more beads again. So I just constant beads after beads. And then the wood section and some cars and Lego pieces down there. Over on this section, I keep my acrylic paints and some other randoms like Mod Podge and, you know, some spray paints and stuff. And I try to put them into colors or into glosses alone. I also paint the color of the paint onto the lids of them so I can just see right over the top what I need to grab. I've got some wood stains. And then these are just some things that I keep around, just random things. I don't really know where to put some of this stuff yet, but for now that's good enough. Some baling wire is always important. These are the boxes I've had the longest, and they have the most weird little tiny items in there that I just didn't really want to categorize and put with anything else. I just like them the way they are. It's kind of eye candy. It's fun and pleasing. Sometimes you get too organized, it takes away the fun. So it's nice to keep that fun there. I always have little Hot Wheel cars somewhere about. This is where I keep some of my tools or my like Polaroid camera, any electronic stuff that has to deal with what I'm working with. And then I label them, and so I know what's in there. I also have my Allen wrenches and drill bits and screwdrivers, and I got hammers and so on and so forth into different things that you might need, including more art pieces and watercolor pencils, all the magazines I use. And then plus these are perfect for paper crafts, these square boxes here. Let's pull this out like this. So they come in different sizes. So you can get this big thick kind, or you can get a thinner one here. I really suggest that. I do keep a lot of paper things like calendars, old photos, price tags. I use those, stickers, playing cards. I'm just trying to think of some of the things that go in here. And then, of course, I've got a little bit more supplies over here. Just more detailed perspective, like hot glue, you know, gilding, brass, and some gloves, bejeweler, wood burner, micro machines, motorbikes, Hot Wheels, wax paper, frisk, aluminum foil, sandpaper, transfer paper. This is my in and out table. So when I come in, I will put the stuff down here that needs to be organized. And I usually have a box. So this is actually the box that belongs on the table. And this is all the stuff I need to organize. I've been busy working on other projects, so I've been gathering all this stuff for the day I need to come out and do that. And then so I keep all my stuff out here. Easy to grab, just quick and easy. I'm going to work on this table soon. I want to restore it and fix it because I want to be able to put my larger papers in here, and I need to take out this middle thing here so I could put those larger pieces in. Now this side, I'm really lucky to have such space so I can put a lot of my things out. You know, I still haven't decided where to put some of the things that I'm working on, but it's nice to have this stuff available to grab at any time. And I always have extra stuff, so I try to keep, you know, certain chemicals over here. I've got my hairspray, my gloves, you know, the little containers. I use these a lot sparingly. Those little cereal box things I made, I still haven't put that away yet. Some extra tapes. I've got some dirt. This is all glass pieces. That'd be great for a mosaic. My extra wood pieces. Extra portfolios for my artwork. These are all stencils. And then I have tools across here along with my diorama materials and supplies. And I always suggest keeping bags around. You used to be able to get like free penny press magazines, and you could do that for paper mache, but those things are harder to find these days, so it's good to keep your paper bags for any paper mache projects you might want to work on. I have this other space here in the garage, which I have my cutter on, and I also use this as an in and out spot too. And then next to that, I've been keeping my easels for now until I have a better place to put them. And we'll come over to this space here, which has been really helpful. But once again, I need to really finite how I put this stuff. And these are all the different levels of organization. So I do have a lot of my art books here, and these are to stay in here temporary. I have some old coloring books I pulled out that I made. They're super fun. But I got my art books here so I can just easily reference them. And then if you see me talk about my accordions, this is where I keep any small pieces of paper that I get or make. I put them in here and I label everything. So they all have names that tell me what's in here. I'll have my friends' artworks or family artworks or something that's inspirational. Or like I said, I'll make little drawings. And if they come out of my sketchbooks, I'll also put them in here. I've got some more extra supplies. I got this weird box and a dollhouse wood. And there's more stuff I need to put away. I use my drill a lot, so I do keep it in here. And just for my projects as it comes down. This is pretty much my construction paper and things like that. So easy to get to if I need it. I got a spirograph for Christmas this year, so I've used that. That's super fun. I'll use that for other projects. And some graphite paper. And then down to supplies. This is the paint from the mural. I'm just keeping it here. And then been using this on projects throughout the year for other things. But it needs to stay warm. This is a good place for that. And then, of course, all my sketchbooks from all of my life in here. Keep them safe, I guess. You just can't go in one day and just organize everything perfectly. You have to kind of keep working on it and fine-tuning everything. Now, I begin as a recycled artist, so I do have large items of stuff. And I'll also show you what I've done with all my artwork that I've created. So a lot of my large items I've just placed underneath here. I've been working for 2 years on Organize Shop. And I don't know if you've seen some of the videos. I've just completely organized this area. I've moved this down to be more accessible so I can get these tools. We made a cleaning station here, and there's stuff under here also. So easy supplies for cleaning, paper towels, garbage can, more garbage here. We've got the anvil here. We've actually used this many times. It's been really helpful. And then I've got these old bread trays from Wonder Bread, and I just keep stuff on here, notes, things that we need, pens, just random things, whistles, extra pair of sunglasses. I've got some chalk over there. Then I set my board up with things that I need right now. Now, even though I had just finished putting together my mechanic toolbox, these things are actually different than what I need on a daily basis. So yeah, I may not need this on a daily basis, but it was pretty cool. And that's why I put some of the other things up here. Things that just were pretty cool, or I did need later on, just stuff like that. So very easy. This is my tools section. Very easy to go. And then we go over to the supply area. So I put these saws up, and then I put some of my supplies here. And this is temporary until I figure out what else I want to do with this zone. I've got a lot of my paintings organized and set up here. They're already inventoried, numbered, photographed. I've got the supplies down here. Here's some of my old mats from the past. And then we've cleared this out. And what I really like about this is that we ended up just using carts to put all the screws that were just stacked on the counter. We had nails and screws. So this is nails, the nails cart. And I still have to go through and organize these. It's going to be a while before I get there. And then this will be the screw cart. And it's nice because these can just easily move around. So I've got my wood area just about ready to go. I've got all my tools set up. I just now need an art piece to create. I guess what I should do is make a chair. They say that's the first thing you should do is make a chair. So maybe that's what I'll do. I also need to make bases for my abandoned USA town. So this is on my list of things to do. And as you can see up here, I've got more paintings. I actually wrapped about almost 100 paintings up and inventoried them and photographed them, and we put them up above in these areas just this last week. So I've been really busy. This is my inventory sheet. Let's flip the camera. I have my inventory list. We take a picture with the Polaroid, give it a number, wrap the package up, and I just write a quick little description, and then we'll put the packages up on the wall, for example. And then I've got that log house here. This is something that I need to restore. I made this many years ago in my old camper studio. So look at how big that was, and to fit on that desk in my tiny space. So I need to go through, restore this, and I'll get to that soon. What do I do with all that art when I'm done? Well, I used to sell it. I used to sell my art, but I took a break from selling because I wanted to build a large portfolio of art. So that's what I've been doing. And so recently my husband reorganized all of my art that we've boxed up, and he's put it on these shelves from ceiling to floor. There we go, all the way up. And so that's several hundred art pieces right there. I have rolls of canvases here too. And I have a huge pile of empty boxes over there, but I'm just not going to videotape that. Well, we did it. We toured the studio, we toured the supplies in the garage, and we've toured the shop. There's so much great inspiration and motivation available out here, but it's really kind of hard to work out here all the time because of the extreme temperatures of where I live. It's either very cold in the winter or very hot in the summer. And so I need to really plan what I want to do in here. And I'm excited. I really want to make a chair. I'm excited about that. Now, 20-year-old Tammy, she would have had so much fun in here. I would have just been making crazy stuff right and left. And I love to make giant things too, which I used to make, but I never had the space to keep them. Now that I have that space to create them and keep them, maybe I'm going to start thinking big again, and that might require collecting more junk. So thanks for watching my little tour, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.